Hi guys, so welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to do a full face of first impressions. So this is basically me just trying out a whole lot of things that I have bought recently or I've had for a little while and I've been meaning to try out. Some of these things are new releases and others are just things that are new to me. I just thought I might as well do a little video and show you my first impressions of a couple of these products. I do a lot of hauls on my channel and that's simply because I buy far too much. So I just thought this is a perfect opportunity to show you what I thought of some of the products, because I know in hauls that you don't really get an idea about what I think about the products or how I use them or anything like that. So I thought that this video will give you a little bit more information about the products and how they go on, how they apply, and what I instantly think about them. I had considered doing sort of individual first impressions of some products, but because I have a ton of things to get through, I thought that I would do them all at once and just throw them on my face and let you know how it looks. Obviously I might not like all the products that I try out, they might not be the right colours or whatever, but it'll still give you an idea of what the texture's like and how they apply. So I hope you enjoy the video. Apologies about the bare face. Actually no apologies about the bare face. This is what my face looks like without any makeup on. So I am going to shove my hair up and let's get started. My Maybelline BB Skin. The first product that I'm going to use is something I picked up really recently. I actually got it from TK Maxx. It was a bit of a bargain and I think I got it for about £4. So this is the Sleek Base Duo Kit. And I absolutely love anything that I have tried from Sleek, and this, I don't know whether it's discontinued because obviously it was in TK Maxx, but I just thought I would try this out and I will show you inside. You just get it in this little box, sort of compact, and at the top it is a mirror and a little powder, and underneath you get another mirror and you get the foundation just there. So as you can see, mine's quite a nice light colour, and the name of this colour is Oatmeal 350. I'm not 100% sure how to go in for this foundation. To be honest, I don't really go for solid foundations. I tend to just go for a liquid form. So this is a bit of a change from my normal, but I think I will still use the Real Techniques little sponge. Start off with, it seems pretty thick. There is a bit of a sheen off it, which might mean that it's a little bit greasy on the skin, but we'll give it a go anyway and see what we think. First off, it spreads quite well. Again though, that might be a sign that it's a little bit greasy. I think the colour's okay. It hasn't given me much coverage now, but we'll see if it builds up. So the colour is fine actually. I think the colour's okay for me. I'm not used to using a solid foundation, as I said, so I'm literally just throwing it on my face to see what the coverage is like. It doesn't look too shiny on the face actually while I'm applying it, and the texture, it's fine, but it's certainly not full coverage anyway. I mean, it does blend very easily. It's not like it's drying so quickly that I can't move it or shift it, but as I said, it's not much coverage. You can definitely still see the colour of your own skin underneath it, which some people really like. If you like a natural effect, but to me it doesn't really give as much of a coverage as I would like. It's not cancelling out any of the sort of rosiness of my cheeks, and it's certainly not covering any redness from blemishes and things, but I will apply a little bit more and see if it adds to the coverage a little bit. I can see already that where I have some wrinkles around my mouth sort of area, that it does seem to sit in them a little bit, but maybe once I've blended that out, that'll sort of fix that a little bit. So that is the foundation once it is fully applied. I have to say it does look a little bit patchy, and the coverage is definitely not full. I feel like it's a little bit greasy on my skin. I'm trying to sort of pat it around the areas where it would sort of sit in the lines and things. Definitely doesn't smooth over any pores or anything like that. I'm sort of noticing where there are little indents in my skin that sort of shows it up a little bit more rather than covering it. And I also have to say that I do feel like I used quite a lot of product there. Next I'm going to use another Sleek product, and this is the Sleek Luminaire Highlighting Concealer. And I've been dying to try this for absolutely ages and see if it adds any sort of highlight to my face. So as you can see, it's a little pen version, and immediately you notice it has a sort of pinky tone to it. So let's see. Yeah, that's very pinky. It's like salmony colour. I don't know what I think about that actually. I'm much more used to using concealers that are really light and don't really have much of a pinky tone. I tend to go more for a yellow tone because I find that it suits my skin colour better. But we will blend this out and see what happens. That's it all sort of blended out. To be honest, it sort of looks like it's disappeared. I don't really feel like it's given me much coverage. Maybe its purpose is more so for a highlight, and I will just set it with a little bit of powder. I'm just going to go in for the pressed powder now and see if that will set the foundation. There does seem to be a little bit of coverage to this powder. It's not totally translucent, but it's certainly not a bad match for the foundation, and it is taking away a little bit of the shine. Sort of like a weird combination between being a little bit greasy and a little bit drying looking. So I think if you have combination skin, it wouldn't be a foundation for you. So we will move on to the next product. And next I'm going to do my eyebrows. And this is a product that I've been really excited about trying, and it is the Makeup Freedom eyeshadow pomade. This is meant to be a dupe for the Anastasia Dip Brow, and I've picked mine up in the colour ash brown. Normally I'd go for something that's called dark brown or chocolate brown, but I found that the chocolate brown was a little bit too warm toned, so I'm hoping that the ash brown is a little bit more natural looking. And this is £5 from Superdrug, and there's a little bottle there. It's just a little glass container with a nice little lid. Mine is that colour, so it's not too warm in tone. I am just going to apply this the same way that I apply my Anastasia. I also have only had my Anastasia Dip Brow for a few weeks. I am pretty new to that as well, but I really love it, so I'm hoping that this will be very similar. I've heard that this is waterproof, although I haven't seen it written on the packaging, but I know that a couple of people have told me that it's waterproof. Whether it is or not, I'm not 100% sure. This seems slightly more creamy than the Anastasia Dip Brow, but still a really nice consistency. As you can see, my eyebrows are very sparse at the moment because I definitely over wax and over pluck. If you're really lacking in eyebrows, this is a really handy sort of product to use to recreate your own. As I said, my eyebrows are pretty sparse, so if you've got more eyebrow to work with, it's slightly easier to give a better shape to your eyebrows, because obviously you can just sort of follow the natural shape, whereas I have to sort of recreate my own from whatever is left of my eyebrow. And I really like that texture. I think it's lovely. It's a little bit more creamy in texture, and it's a bit more smoother applying than the Anastasia Dip Brow. But I can see the similarities, and it gives a really nice coverage actually. I'm not sure what my eyebrow looks like there. I do think this is a pretty good colour choice actually for me. With creams and things, I tend to be a little bit heavy-handed, as you can see, because I haven't perfected the technique yet. So my eyebrows will look a little bit strong, I'm sure, by the end of this. This little brush is just from Superdrug, and it's double-ended one, which I use for any sort of eyebrow creams or things like that. But it can come in quite handy to blend. If you put a little bit too much of the cream on, it's quite handy to blend it in. Excuse the wonky eyebrows. I'm not very good at doing eyebrows at the best of times, but especially in this light and with these mirrors aren't particularly good, so they could be totally different. I know they're meant to be sisters and not twins, but mine are more like long lost cousins because they look really different. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It's just to give you an idea of what the actual cream looks like when it's out. Finding that this foundation is sort of slipping around my face. Next, I'm going to go in with something I've had for ages, but I haven't tried it out yet, and this is from Makeup Revolution, and this is their blusher set. Mine is in the colour Smolder, like a blush, bronzer and highlighter palette, very similar to the Sleek sort of palette. This is what the kit looks like. I think they've updated the packaging actually. I've had it for that long and haven't used it. You get the bronzer, the highlighter and the little blush, and this is quite a bright pink sort of blush. The bronzer I think I can just about use as a contour. I'm not sure if it's shiny. No, it seems to be matte, so I will try that bronzer out as a contour. The highlighter seems nice, and the blusher is maybe a little bit too pink for me, but we'll see how it goes on. So I'm just going to use this little blusher brush and just do a little bit of contour with this bronzer. That's actually not bad at all. I thought it would be really pigmented and look very orangey, but it's not too bad. I don't know how it appears on camera there. So I think these palettes are actually in different packaging now. I think it's actually a clear top, and I think they're usually around $3.50 or something around that price range. That's actually not bad. It's quite subtle. I'm sure you could build it up if you wanted to, and if you're a bit tanner than I am, which isn't difficult, it's probably quite a nice bronzer as well. And so I'm just going to try the highlighter now. And There is a little bit of fallout there, but I'm maybe just brushing it a little bit too hard. And let's see. Yeah, it seems fine. It seems a little bit powdery, so it's definitely not as nice as the bronzer from the palette. So last up is the blusher, and as I said, it's quite a pinky colour, which is maybe a little bit too pink for me, but I'll apply a little bit anyway. Next is something that people rave about all the time, and I've never tried out, and this is the Scandalise eyeshadow stick crayon. The only problem I can see is that it would probably sit in lines and wrinkles and maybe crease a little bit throughout the day, but people assure me that this is good. And it also says that it's waterproof. This is in the colour Bluffing, which is just a nice natural sort of bronzy like colour, but it's not too warm and it's not too cold either, and it has a sort of iridescence to it. So let's go on with this. And it isn't too harsh, it's not too harsh of a colour that it's going to be difficult to blend in, because as I said, I have not mastered the art of blending. So something like this, really straightforward, is really perfect for me. And actually it would probably work really well with eyeshadows. It would be really nice as a base for eyeshadows too. Nice colour. I don't know why I would be with stronger sort of darker colours or more vibrant colours, because maybe they'd be a little bit more noticeable, and so blending them in wouldn't be quite as easy. I'm not sure how it will stay. I mean, it says that it's waterproof, so maybe after a couple of minutes it sets and sort of stays in place, which would be really handy. So after the eyeshadow is applied, I am trying out this new release from Rimmel. I can't say I am a massive fan of Rimmel mascaras, but I thought I would give this a chance. And this is the Super Curler 24-Hour Volume and Curl Mascara. And when I first saw it, I thought it was from Miss Sporty because it's a bit more like their packaging rather than Rimmel's. So let's crack it open. I think it's probably about £5 or £6 like most of Rimmel mascaras. But this is actually not too dissimilar in brush to the Colossal mascara, which I'm a massive fan of. I mean, it's quite nice, I have to say. It has given me quite a lot of length. I have noticed already that a little bit of mascara has transferred onto my skin, but once the mascara is dry, hopefully that won't be an issue. But no, it seems to have given quite nice length. One criticism would be is you don't really feel like you're getting in there at the eyelashes for some reason. Maybe the bristles are a little bit too soft. I feel like with this mascara you do have to work a little bit harder than I usually do with my normal mascaras. But I mean, the appearance is nice. Because the bristles are quite soft, I don't feel like I have total control over the mascara. I mean, I can't quite feel how close the mascara wand is to my actual lower lashes, which will probably cause me to make a few mistakes. And same with the top lashes. You sort of don't feel like you're getting right in there to pull the eyelashes up and coat the mascara. You sort of aren't too sure where the wand is. Mascara's fine. It's okay. I mean, it is giving me length and a bit of volume and everything, and they look alright, but I do feel like my eyelashes can be better with other mascaras, if truth be told. But I'll see how this wears and see if there's any fallout or anything from it. I've bought the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream 15 Athens, and so it's quite a nice nude colour. I tend to go for rosy or nude sort of shades, and I will just swatch on my hand so that you can see what it's like. So first impressions, or it's quite peachy. It's quite a peachy colour. Which I think it's probably going to be a little bit too orangey for me, but I think I will pair it with a lip liner. I have two to choose from. I basically went on a trip down south recently and picked up a few products, and this is from the Pennies down south, which is basically our Primark, and this is from the Catrice Cosmetics Long Lasting Lip Pencil number 80. That's what Rose would do, so I'll swatch that beside it. And this is definitely more of the colour that I was hoping the next cream would be. It's just underneath it there. And then we have from Pennies itself a little lip liner in the colour Nude. And I have had these. This is from their PS collection. And I do actually have a couple of these in different colours, and they are fantastic. If you're looking for a budget sort of lip liner, these are definitely what you should go for. And the texture is really creamy and lovely. This colour, again, isn't quite what I was expecting it to be. It's much more of a brown colour, and so it's down at the bottom. So I think I will go for the Catrice. So I'll just start off with the lip liner. I'm just sort of roughly outlining my lips and doing a little bit more in, just so that it gives the next colour a little bit more of the colour that I was hoping it would be. And the lip liner is Quite a nice colour actually. It's quite soft for being a sharpening sort of pencil. But I will just top it up with this NYX colour, and I think I'm not sure if I said, but this was $5.50 I think. So it's actually not bad. It's not, as I said, it's not the sort of colour I would go for. I think the lip liner is definitely adjusting it a little bit so that it looks a little bit more what I would go for. It feels quite creamy on the lips. I could probably do with a little exfoliator anyway, because my lips are a little bit dry at the moment, so sorry if they don't look too good. It is a different texture. I mean, it's similar in some ways. I love the Bourjois lip lacquers, the matte effect ones. I think they're fantastic. They have really good lasting power, as do the MEA ones. So we'll see if this actually lasts. It seems quite nice. I have to say it does look a little bit patchy, quite light on the lips. It's not too heavy, and again, it's not very drying. So this is the overall makeup look. I think it's quite natural. Obviously I didn't buy any liquid eyeliner, so I'm not wearing any eyeliner today. And altogether the products look quite nice. I have to say, not too keen on the foundation straight off. The NYX liquid lipstick isn't quite what I was expecting, but it's quite nice, quite light. Doesn't feel too heavy or drying on the lips. And the mascara is sort of average, it's fine. The eyeshadow stick I'm quite enjoying actually. Seems quite natural, and it does seem to have sort of dried a little bit, or at least set. But that is all the products on. So I don't know what it looks like on camera. Hopefully it looks alright. And what I'm going to do is go about my normal day. I'm going to walk the dog, maybe film a few videos, and I will check in later and let you know how it's lasted and what are my sort of final thoughts about it. Obviously it's a first impressions and things can change. I might change my opinion throughout the day. It might last better than I was expecting, whatever. But I think after trying something on for a day, you're pretty good at guessing whether it's something that you are interested in keeping. I'm sure we'll have some disappointments amongst them, but I will check it in a few hours later on in the day. Hi guys, so it has been a couple of hours now and I have left my face as it is. It has been about 7 hours since I applied all the makeup. And I just wanted to give you a little bit of a review about what I thought about it and how it lasted through the day. So I will start off with the most disappointing product, I suppose, and it would have to be this sleek foundation. Now, I mean, it looks alright on the camera. I can see it looks pretty good. That's probably due to my light that sort of washes out any imperfections, thankfully. But up close, it does look a little bit strange. It's kind of patchy in places. It did take quite a lot of product to give you any sort of coverage. I found the texture was a little bit greasy. My skin does look quite textured. I mean, where there's sort of like little natural dips and things in my skin, it sort of highlights that a bit worse than any other foundation that I've really tried. I also find that the texture makes it quite easily to wipe off. I'm scared of touching my face because I feel like the makeup will just drag off. The powder that comes with it did help to set it a little bit. But that did make my skin look a little bit powdery. Another disappointing product, and unfortunately it is from Sleek again, and it is the illuminating highlighter. It was meant to be highlighting and I really don't see any highlight from it at all. I didn't notice any highlight when I applied it. Didn't give me very much coverage. I'm used to more of a yellow concealer, but it did seem to blend down and match your skin fine. I can't complain about the tone, but to be honest, the concealer itself didn't actually do anything. It didn't conceal and it didn't highlight, so I won't be repurchasing that, but I will give it another go. I'll probably try the original concealer instead, but the illuminating one wasn't that great, unfortunately. Makeup Revolution trio, that's about $3.50. I have to say, pretty nice. It wasn't so pigmented that I felt like it was too much. It's just given me a nice gradual sort of contour. I thought to look at it that it might be a little bit orangey, but actually I haven't found it to be so. The highlighter is quite powdery, is quite chunky. You can sort of see it sitting on your skin. It does look a little cakey. I think applied really lightly that you can totally get away with it. And the blush was quite nice as well. Obviously this is my first time trying it, so I will have to try it a few more times to give you a full review about it. But so far I'm pretty impressed, and at $3.50 I don't think you can go wrong. The Makeup Freedom eyebrow pomade I'm really impressed with. I think it gives a really nice strong eyebrow. You probably could give it a more natural look if you weren't so heavy handed as I am. I think it's given really nice definition, blended quite easily. I think it's a really good match for my eyebrow colour. It seems to have stayed on really well, and it hasn't smudged again despite the foundation underneath being quite greasy. So I think that if you can't get the Anastasia Dip Brow, or you want a cheaper alternative, that this is definitely something that you should try out. The Rimmel mascara, well, it stayed on fine. There hasn't been that much, there's been no fallout that I can see anyway, but I have definitely tried better mascaras. That's just my personal preference, but it is a good wee mascara all the same. Onto something I really did enjoy, and that was the Scandaleyes eyeshadow stick. I think that the colour is lovely. It has stayed in place all day. It doesn't feel dry. There's just something really nice about the texture that has blended out without being really creased as well. One concern with cream eyeshadow sticks and things is quite often that they crease and smudge and everything, but this one, once it was on and you blended it in, it stayed put all day, and I really love it. So I will definitely be using this, and I'm quite tempted to try it in a couple of other colours as well. Last two products up are obviously the lip products. So the Catrice long lasting lip liner did what it said. Today I have had loads and loads of cups of tea and coffee and everything else, and it seems to have stayed in place. It's quite a subtle colour, so if I saw these lip liners again, I would definitely pick them up, and I think these were only like £1 or £2 or something, so they're definitely worth it. On to the very last product, and that is of course the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream, and what I have on my lips now is the exact same coat that I put on video 7 hours ago. So as you can see, the colour has lasted, and I have to say I really love the colour of it. When I first applied it, it is a little too creamy to the point where you think that it's maybe going to be patchy, but I think if you work with it a little bit, let it dry and add another coat, then you get really good coverage. I think I would pick it up in a couple of other colours as well. I know the Boots have got quite a big selection to choose from, but because I can't see them in person, it is a little bit annoying, but I think I will order it in a couple of other shades. Nowhere near as drying as I was sort of expecting it to be. Altogether, I found some really nice products, some not so good products, but that's why it's really good for me to do this sort of first impressions, to see what things I like and which things I don't like, because once you weed out the things that you don't like, it gives you an opportunity to try something else. So I really hope that you've enjoyed this video. Obviously it's the first that I've sort of done like this. As always, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!